You guys look like ghosts.
That's good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah?
That's
You like
perfect.
that?
Yeah, we like that.
Okay. This
We
will
want
be
to
a
be
very
ghosts.
spiritual interview. I got you guys a present.
Oh, that's kind of you.
You said on your Facebook that you
perfect.
like potato chips.
Of course, we are addicted.
I'm glad that, you know.
Thank you so much. It's very nice.
We are really addicted to that.
Yeah, especially our drummer is addicted.
Yeah?
I
Is it
guess
your tour fuel?
he will join any minute for sure. We'll be happy about it.
Thank you so much.
That's very
That's
fun.
great, enjoy. I mean, is that a good flavour for you guys? Do you,
We like every flavor.
there is not a single one you don't like?
At least I would say we try all of them. That seems a pretty regular one, so that always
Yeah.
goes easy.
I played it safe and I'm glad it worked out. So how's the tour so far? How's it going?
It's the second day, so
You're pretty happy.
yeah.
Yeah, we had a great tour start yesterday in Cologne, which is
Uh-huh.
a town we have played quite some times before. Never in such a big venue like yesterday, so we were, or we hoped really that the place could fill, and it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, tonight's nearly sold out, so
It's already sold
you've got
out.
some really good. Oh, amazing! Wow, cool.
So far so good. We are all healthy and in good shape. Everything runs like expected. No bad surprises yet,
That's
Not
good.
yet so far.
but still
Awesome.
some days to go. So
Yeah, I was looking at your sort of touring history, and I noticed you've played Russia as well.
Yeah.
What was that like in
Many-
comparison?
Two times.
Two times.
Two times already. How is Russia? Russia is
Different
Russia is-
to everything.
Russia is Russia.
They're driving like hell. You cannot imagine.
Yeah.
They're absolutely insane.
What's the crowd like?
The crowd is also insane. They like to party. They like to have fun. So they enjoy every second, every minute. They give everything. So
That's really good to hear.
yeah.
Is there anywhere you want to go particularly?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, we got many invitations, and we have so less time because the band is still a hobby, and we are all having day jobs and family, kids.
Yeah.
So far we couldn't make it to the US, but we are invited, and we couldn't make it to Australia, we are invited, and we couldn't go to India, we are invited. So,
Wow.
so maybe next year we are trying a bit of more stuff we have not done yet, and maybe skip the European tour and try some other stuff with the few days of vacation we have. So
That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
How do you guys coordinate? Because you all have families, so do you have like a big shared calendar where you can plan your rehearsals, or it must be so
My wife.
complicated? Your wife.
so it's pretty. Seppi has 3 kids, so it's mostly a little bit the one who's maybe shaping the schedule, where he knows like, okay, there could be a weekend which could work. And so I'm living in France, 500 kilometers away, so we are really trying then, when Seppi says this is the weekend, then it's good for me as well to coordinate my trip. And luckily our drummer has always time, so he's the one with the less complicated schedule, so we work it out. And after 12 years we have a kind of routine right now to find the structure for us, how to do things in the best possible way.
Do you think that affects how you write? I mean, does that affect, because you have less time, so
Yeah.
does that make you more efficient in a
Yes.
weird
Yeah.
way?
Exactly. Yeah.
We need the pressure. We need the pressure of deadlines to be. No, there's not really deadlines, but for us it's good if we have our deadline where we say like, hey, this year we want to write the new record, and then once you have started telling that you come out with a new record any time, then you want to keep that deadline, and that's how we are working.
Cool. So when you're writing, I read that you have the guitar first, and then you write
Mostly.
over mostly.
Yeah.
So with like Moksha, if I'm saying it right, you had the piano.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
are there any other songs where it's like that, where it was unusual the way you made it?
No, it's like it's really like I came up with some ideas on the guitar, and the other guys try to fit in. And the most important thing is that it feels good, and when it feels good, then we work on it on the track. So But then, like you said, on Moksha it was totally different because Norman came up with this piano thing and we like it really, really well, and so we started to write the song around that piano thing. So
And we want to write more like that with a bit of more input from Norman, who's very skilled in music as well, but he's also not living. He's living 300 kilometers away, and for him it's very
Cologne.
difficult with the day job to join. So it's mostly us three who are rehearsing, and Norman has the tracks. Then we send him the tracks, and he prepares his ideas, and then he comes and joins, but not so often then with us. So we hope we can change that as well a bit in the future.
But in future, I talked with Norman, so we tried to get in touch, him and me, and trying together doing some arrangements. So then the other guys came in. So
Cool.
that's the plan.
Yeah.
So it's not the prototype of a band who meets 5 times a week in the rehearsal room or 3 times a week in the rehearsal room and really rehearsing. It's more on us after 12 years right now, a lot with experience and trust, and we know each other pretty well and we know how we work, and that's a bit our advantage, that we are not, how to say it, getting nervous or grumpy when schedules are cancelled or not happening.
Yeah.
So we make it work then. Otherwise,
So does that make when you play live even more special because you don't see much of each other?
we
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We always try to have a good, when we play live, want to have a good time for us first. So saying it really doesn't matter how many people are there, and it's really the case. I know every band is saying like, yeah, it doesn't matter, but for us it's really, if it's 1 or 1,000 people, first we want to play for us, we want to have that feeling, that groove for us. Of course it's more fun if there's people watching the show and you're getting the chance to build up one big flow or one big chemistry with the audience. But it's always first on us. We want to feel the flow in our music, and then we can transport it.
And that links in with your new album, your live album. Because tell me about the meaning of the name.
The
I have
meaning
to give it up.
the meaning of the name Mela Ananda is gathering of bliss, or happy gathering, and that's a bit how we see our concert over the years, and we are around since 12 years now, and the crowd was always growing, but you still meet old friends from the first concerts, and we still go to the places, and so you have a concert, it's not just a music concert, you always meet friends, fans, and new people and old people, so it's a happy gathering, and we are trying to celebrate that a bit. So that's why we thought it's a nice title for that record, which contains really songs from all albums. From the Satya album there's one track missing. We had recorded it, but it didn't fit well, but we wanted to give an overview about the 12 years, and that's also fits also to the full gathering of bliss. So a big meeting of the past into the now and maybe the future.
Well said.
Yeah, that's lovely. I actually noticed on the album cover you have loads of images from all of your previous albums.
Yeah.
And
It's on every album.
yeah, I noticed that. I like that
Yeah.
flow, that continuity.
Yeah.
And how did you find that artist? His name is
Sebastian Jäger.
Yeah, thank you.
What he came up with.
Like many things in Sleeping Karma, stuff comes a bit to us. We were not really like searching for the artwork guy. It's when we started Sleeping Karma, we first had the music, and then somehow the name came to us, and then with the name and the concert we played, these Eastern spirit mythology kind of thing came to us, or people brought it to us, and at one point the artwork guy came up. I don't know from which, maybe we have seen an album cover from another band which was on our label. I think it was something like that, and we said like, that seems to be a cool guy, and we contacted him, and then it was really the guy understood exactly what we want, so he's almost part of the team because he's so deep into that kind of idea we are following with Sleeping Karma that it's always a kind of a one shot. We tell him, hey, we want to have it that way, and he comes up and it's already almost perfect. So then we say like a bit of this and that, and then that's it. So
the first work that he did for us was the Soma. And we tell him the title, and he's looking for the
ideas and
looking for the name. What is it? And so he goes really deep into the
Buddhism, Hinduism, religion.
Goes really deep into the title, and he goes into the woods and forest and grabs some things and builds some sculptures from it. Yeah. And sent us pictures, and then he said, look at this, is it okay? And we said, yeah, try it. And then he doing paintings, and then it's amazing, it's
so
perfect.
Much. I didn't know there was so much around one album cover that he did all these other images.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's really, really nice. He really understood what we try to say. Yeah.
What about your music video? Was it for Prithvi? You had this eyeball and a stop motion Play-Doh. Who came up with the idea?
The idea come to us.
It's pretty much the same thing, like a good friend who followed us. See you later. Sorry, I just...
interview.
Oh, sorry. You take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
As a bit of character.
Take care.
Bye. Have a good time.
Good friend of us who's following us since some years, always taking live pictures and live footages.
Cool.
He works as a, how to call it, video cutting guy, or you know what I mean.
He's a student of filming.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
exactly. So we came up with this idea that we do something, and parallel some students from a film school contacted us and had asked if they can use our music for the small video images things they had prepared. And we said like, hey, you can use our music, but can we have your images, because we like these animations, and it would fit with the concept what we had in mind with the shadow players in the Prithvi video. So we connected just the dots, and we had this kind of two ideas which came from two different sides, and it was again one fitting good karma thing. So that's how the video was. So it was not a big search for.
No, well, like I said, it came to us.
It came again to us. So.
Yeah, it's a beautiful video. How long did it take to film?
Not so long.
Really?
For us, because the work of the students, we didn't know how much work they have.
Oh, okay.
The animations came from these video students, and our part was done pretty much in 2 afternoons or 2 longer afternoons.
Yeah, the animation.
For us, for performing, I don't know how long the guy took to cut the thing and shape it.
That's cool.
You want to join us?
That's
Our
Stefan,
drummer.
our drummer.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
man.
Nice to meet you too.
Hello.
Feel free to...
Hi
You
there.
want to join us?
All good. Come.
Gives me some more work to do. Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask about how you chose the live songs for your album. What was the because you said that you choose what feels good.
Yeah.
So how do you know? What is the criteria for this?
It's growing with over the years, so we know what fits into a live set and what not, and so we.
Not every Sleeping Karma song from an album is a live song. It's a bit. We try sometimes to bring a new song in, and we feel very fast if it has the flow for live or not. It's a different thing when you listen to a record, or when you trying to build up emotions during a live show, or if you try to take the people on a journey. We have a kind of structure for our live set, and not every album song could automatically fit in the live set, so it's a bit an experience thing, and that's why it's mostly still songs from all 5 records we are playing live. So even in today's live set is again I think songs from every album.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what kind of emotional build-up are you aiming for? Do you change the structure, the way that you want to affect the emotions when you play? Is there a different mood that you aim for during different tours?
See, the thing is, as an instrumental band, we are trying to bring a message to the people. We are not bringing the message by vocals, but we want to create an atmosphere and working with dynamic and emotions, and that is mostly given by the set length we are allowed to play. It's different if you play 30 minutes on a heavy metal festival or 2 hours on a psychedelic hippie festival. So that's why our set list is never the same, but it's a portfolio of, let's say, 15 songs we are choosing. And we are not trying to play the most heavy songs one after another. We are trying to having a heavier song and then going a bit down, bringing it up again.
Is there like an ideal happy gathering for you, like the perfect show? Where you have you can choose everything, the set length, the audience size, the setting. Is there kind of a fantasy show that you ever imagine playing?
Do you have some idea?
I don't know, maybe together with Porcupine Tree, but the length, I mean, as we are an instrumental band, it's not like, I wouldn't say it makes sense to play like 3 hours or something.
It makes no
because
sense. No.
People get
hosted
boring,
a 3
you know.
hour set here a few years ago.
But they had a singer.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's say, and also Color is maybe more the type of a jam band, which people ask us as well if we are a jam band, but I would say we are not a jam band. Even if we can jam, we are still trying to stay in a structure because it's our way to do it. We have no guitar solos at all in none of the sets. Everything is based on licks and more on dynamics and more on transporting a vibe or a feeling or a flow. And so the jam band is not My Sleeping Karma. That doesn't fit us. So the perfect set, I don't know, it's the perfect set is when we, for us, feel it was a great flow. When you feel that you play, but you are playing like in the kind of, in a cloud, you know, like it's all, you are there, but you are just in the band, you have the full thing, so it's hard to describe, but I guess you know.
Yeah. Are there any particular shows that you remember where you felt that way, that you still look back on with a sparkle in your eye?
There are too many to name it. Yeah.
Funny, for example, Desert Fest London 2 years ago when we were scheduled for the Coco, the night before we played in Berlin, a big show, and we came like, I don't want to say hangover, but we played at night and we partied and we went into the plane and we flew over and we got picked up, and it was already showtime almost, so we came and sleep. The headliner was still sound checking, so we couldn't really do much, a very short line check, and then we were thinking, okay, Sunday afternoon 2 o'clock, who should be there, let's do it, it's just fun. So, and we stepped out and that Coco place was completely full and like, ooh.
Yeah.
And we just played the show, and it was like great because it was without any preparation, no expectations, and just
Do you
that
find
was a
it-
good example maybe for
Me, it was a show at the Headsback, I guess 5 years ago. It was 5 days of raining. Everything was mud. You cannot drive with a car to the stage.
It's a hippie festival.
It's a
in
hippie
Germany.
festival in Germany. It's next year it's going to
50 years.
50 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge
Started
hippie
in
festival.
'69.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And we played there, and there was no one in front of the stage because it was raining, and we built our set up. Just one half-naked woman is dancing in the rain, and I said to the guys, like, "Come on, we play for this woman." So, and we're going deep in us. We keep our heads on the ground. So, and we played, And after the song was ready, I look up and the place was crowded, and the people were screaming, and we said, where did they come from? This was
They were
really,
just-
really, it
just
was
there,
a really good feeling. This was a nice one.
And Paris, of course, last year. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
also really,
Yeah, it was
because
really
the crowd went crazy.
emotional,
It was
yeah.
so cool. Yeah. So we love it if you get a good feedback from the people.
I'm sure you do. So, what about the future? What are you doing next after this tour?
We promised to write new songs.
We
promised ourselves to write new songs.
Yeah.
But now we will see. We were really busy, even if it's a live record, and it has not so much to do with going yourself in the studio and playing the stuff. It's more like listening to the recordings, and then also on the live record we wanted to have a bit of a concept behind it, not just releasing it, so the artwork should match. We wanted to have the bonus stuff, a nice documentary about 10 years of Sleeping Karma with some funny moments back in then, and that of course caused a lot of work as well. So
You need the story, you need to collect all the material, blah blah blah.
So-
That was a lot of work.
we have
Yeah.
been quite busy the last 2 years, but now after this tour I think we really want to start to write new material.
And tell me about, you said that the Eastern influence came to you through people? That sounds like there's a story there.
No, not really.
No?
No. It's because my guitar playing is like this Indian style.
Is it raga? Where they have these scales. Is it kind of Indian classical music?
Ah, okay.
And usually the songs last like 2 or 3 days. And there's a scale you can only go up with one
Okay.
interval at a time and down.
He never had a teacher, so
He never had-
maybe.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm autodidact, so I never had any teacher. No, it's because I play guitar and I want to play bass and guitar at the same. So I do one string, putting always the one string, so it sounds like it's an Indian style. So
Oh, okay. I know what you mean.
that's
Yeah.
thank you. I can express myself like I wanted to because my English is not so.
Oh, you can hold a guitar and just use it to
Yeah,
communicate for the rest
exactly.
of the
Yeah. Thank you.
And then when the first songs were ready and it was released, the first album by Stefan from Electrohash, and first press people wrote about it, and somehow out of the sudden you got that attitude like the Buddha rockers or this guy in Hindu. So, and people read that and it's like automatically the direction went into that topic. So we never start and say like, hey, let's do a band and let's try to bring in Buddhism, Hinduism, religious stuff, and we call it that and that, and then we do. So it's just came to us.
But it fits
It
perfect.
fits.
It
Yeah.
fits. So
And
I think-
over the years it became us. So
Yeah.
it's now it's not even anymore to say it and a trademark which came from outside. It's now it's us. So it's in the genetics.
That's interesting. Usually it's the other way.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah. So one last question for you guys. If you could be asked anything, what would it be? If you could choose a question to be asked.
wir uns selber oder
If we could be asked anything.
ourselves?
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
had the power to make someone ask you a question.
Siri, what's the meaning of life?
Is it 42?
It's 42. There are too many questions. Not enough answer. That's too many questions. Yeah.
It's more about answers. It's not so much about questions. But the main question, I guess, for almost everybody should be, what's the sense of my life? Isn't it? Because everybody should ask themselves.
The unexamined
Because-
life is not worth living.
some people think this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not. I mean, if they think it has no sense, that's what they give to life. You know, everybody's giving the sense of his own life. Is directing his own life into a sense, whatever sense you're searching for. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's like the sense of somebody is to make music or to, don't know, help people to paint the walls or whatever. Everything could be the sense.
Yeah.
But it's really important to ask yourself what the sense is or what it should be for yourself.
Very deep.
Yeah.
Very clever. Yeah. I'll ask myself that later.
Yeah, you should do.
Yeah, well, I'll do it while you're playing. It'll be an enriching experience. Cool. Do you have a question? Did you?
No, I think I can only join that because that is so big, that question, or there's no
There's no answer.
there's no answer to it. You can, it has too many facets, so just agree with you guys.
Cool. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much
for talking to
as
us.
well for
Thank you so
having
much.
chosen some nice questions,
Oh, thank you.
a bit deeper than
Yeah.
many of questions we hear sometimes when we do interviews. No,
Well,
it's
I'm
like
glad.
not the copy and paste answers here.
What are your influences? Where are you from?